A courtroom arraignment in Utah turned into a high-stakes, emotional moment as a former reality star announced plans to enter a treatment program while facing criminal charges for allegedly posting her estranged husband's phone number online. The proceeding also produced a new protective order and left a family in the spotlight as the legal process moves forward. The woman at the center of the case, a 48-year-old alumna of the Real World New Orleans, told the judge during her arraignment that she would begin a residential treatment program on September 12 and expected to stay for about a month. The declaration came after an earlier bail decision had required her to participate in inpatient or outpatient medical, behavioral, psychological, or psychiatric treatment as a condition of release. That earlier release order was set to expire at midnight on the day of the arraignment, and a judge declined a prosecutor's request during the hearing to require proof that she remained in compliance with those conditions. Court documents and an arrest affidavit filed in the case indicate the woman has been charged with multiple misdemeanor offences connected to an alleged doxing incident. Prosecutors have filed at least 3 misdemeanor counts, including an electronic communications harassment charge related to an interaction on August 25, and 2 counts of electronic disclosure of personal identifying information tied to an August 26 social media post that reportedly displayed the actor ex-husband's phone number. Those criminal filings were identified in court records as domestic violence-related matters, and some of the electronic disclosure counts have been classified as Class B misdemeanors in an indictment. The arraignment also produced a protective order requiring the defendant to remain at least 300 feet away from the actor, aged 57, and to have no direct or indirect contact with him or their 3 children, who are identified in filings as ages 16, 12, and 11. The order further restricted contact with potential witnesses in the case and allowed only narrowly defined interactions, such as court-qualified mediation sessions regarding divorce or custody, or a police-supervised visit to the family home to retrieve belongings. Temporary sole custody of the children remained with the actor, and a hearing was scheduled to review the protective order and custody arrangements. Investigative and arrest records describe an episode in which the actor reported receiving a rapid succession of calls and texts from unknown numbers shortly after a responding officer observed a social media post that allegedly displayed the actor's private phone number. The officer documented dozens of incoming calls in the first minutes after the post was seen and later went to the defendant's home. The affidavit says the officer spoke with the woman through an open window, observed behavior he believed supported probable cause, and later arrested her after she changed clothes and came outside. An order to hold with bail noted concerns from family members that the defendant had previously been released from an inpatient treatment facility, but had declined further treatment upon release. The legal saga sits within a broader family and divorce dispute that has included public social media posts, supervised virtual contact between the mother and the children, and earlier emergency interventions. Court filings and public posts indicate the actor filed for divorce after more than 2 decades of marriage. A temporary financial arrangement signed by a judge in July provided the defendant with monthly support stipends to cover living costs, car payments, minimum credit card payments, and some legal fees. Earlier this summer, the defendant was reportedly placed on involuntary psychiatric holds on at least 2 occasions, amid allegations of erratic behavior and other incidents involving the children, matters that were referenced in court documents and detention requests. Family dynamics have played out publicly as well, with the couple's eldest child using social media to describe estrangement from the mother and to defend the father, and with social media posts and live streams from the defendant that the filings characterize as volatile. Prosecutors asked the court to consider adding a prohibition on social media use as a condition of bond after the alleged online disclosure of the actor's phone number, though the presiding judge declined to rule on a comprehensive social media ban at the arraignment. The case remains active in Utah courts. Bail arrangements allowed the defendant to post a $5,000 bond and secure release, and the next scheduled hearings were set to address custody, the protective order, and ongoing compliance with treatment and testing requirements. Both criminal and family court calendars will determine whether treatment conditions, protective restrictions, and the underlying allegations will lead to further penalties, modifications to custody, or other judicial outcomes. The case brings together alleged online harassment and disclosure of personal information, family court conflict, mandated treatment requirements, and criminal charges that prosecutors have categorized as related to domestic violence. The legal process will continue to determine whether the treatment plan, protective orders, and upcoming hearings resolve the immediate safety and custody concerns or lead to additional actions. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for ongoing coverage, and leave your thoughts or questions in the comments below.